Hello, Year 6. I hope you've been enjoying your virtual Taster Day activity so far. My name is Miss Patel and I'm the Assistant Head Teacher for Lower School. In this video, I'm going to take you through the Student Information Book. But before we get started on that, let me tell you about some of my roles within school. First of all, I'm one of the geography teachers. Geography is a subject that I have been passionate about for many years, since I was at school, which was definitely a while ago. I teach all the way from Year 7 to Year 13. I'm also currently the Year Leader for Year 7, and one of my main responsibilities at Herts Essex is to lead on the primary to secondary transition. Obviously, this year we've all been working in very different circumstances, and it's such a shame that we haven't been able to meet you yet. Nevertheless, please be assured that we have been working really hard in the background to make sure that we give every single one of you a brilliant start at secondary school. So let's get started on the Student Information Book. Ideally, you'll have a printout of this booklet, but if you haven't been able to do that yet, you can have it on your screen because I am going to make reference to a few of the pages in this video. There is a contents page on page 2, and I would strongly recommend that you do take a look through this booklet fully between now and September because it has lots of information to show you what life at Herts and Essex is about. Please pause the video if you do need to get a copy of the booklet now and press play once you're ready to start going through some of the pages with me. So let's start at page 4. What I would like you to do, Year 6, is to write the name of your form tutor and your form room on the front of this booklet. You will have received a letter today that showed you which form you are in, and you'll have seen a photo of your form tutor and your form room on some earlier videos. Your form tutor can also be found in this Student Information Book. Press pause and hit the play button once you're ready to move on. Our next activity involves these emojis on the slide. I like to use emojis not only in this activity but in my assemblies, as I think they're a really good way of checking in with how we're feeling. You may well have felt all of these emojis over the last few months in terms of coming to secondary school and how it makes you feel. Certainly, with everything else that's been going on, you might have felt some more than others. My suggestion to you is to consider which of these emojis have applied to you over the last few months and how you've been feeling about moving up to secondary school. And then once you've looked at all of our transition materials, come back to these emojis on page 4 and see whether they've changed. Are you feeling even more excited? Are you more enthusiastic than you initially were? Are you still feeling a little bit nervous perhaps because there's a question that hasn't yet been answered? And if that's the case, there is an opportunity for all of your parents and carers to complete a form at the end of all of these videos, and you can post your question on there and one of us will get back to you. At the bottom of page 4, Year 6, is a checklist for your first morning with us in September. My advice would be to pack your bag the night before, and I would try to maintain that throughout the course of the year. You can tick off these items as you're packing your bag for your first day with us in September. I'm going to move on to pages 6 and 7 now, and they have a lot of these what-if questions. Common questions that I get asked about are getting lost, completing homework, and making friends. These are all perfectly natural questions for Year 6 students to think about as they're getting ready to move to secondary school. What I would like you to do, everybody, is to pause the video again and have a look through the questions over the 2 pages. They not only have the questions, but they have some solutions in terms of how things work at our school. Press the play button once you're ready to continue. I'm skipping ahead a few pages now to page 13, where you have some information on the Student Handbook, or School Planner as it's also known. This is something that we will provide every single one of you with in September. It has a dual function. First of all, it can act as a weekly diary because it has lots of blank pages for you to put reminders in, but it also contains a lot of useful information, and you can see some examples on the slide and on page 13 in your booklet. I also thought it would be nice to show you the cover that your student handbook is going to have this September. Around March every year, I host a design competition for the student planner for years 7 to 10 to take part in. And this is the winning entry for next academic year from one of our current year 9 students. If you are creative or you really enjoy art, this is something that you can look forward to later on in year 7. Let's talk about homework because, as I said earlier, it is a common question that I get asked by year 7 or year 6 students. On page 14, you have lots of tips from lower school students about where to do homework and how to manage it. So again, I would like you to press the pause button and press play once you're ready to continue after you've read the tips. Another tip that I have for managing homework is to create a homework timetable, and you can see an example on the slide here. I've scheduled it from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock in the evening, but this might vary from one student to another. You can see here that it doesn't only take homework into account, it also factors in other commitments such as after school clubs, and I've also put a couple of dance sessions on here. So when you start with us in September, you may find creating one of these useful to balance your co-curricular club sessions that you've opted for, any other commitments that you have outside of school, and balancing your homework, thinking about meal times with your family, any favourite TV shows that you have. This is a technique that I don't just use with my younger students. I have talked to my A-level students about this as well. I would certainly recommend you have a good think about this because it's good to get into those habits early on. You can come back to this slide when you see your lesson timetable and homework timetable in September. I'm going to move on to the canteen now. Miss McWhinney showed you the canteen space in the virtual tour of the school. And when that footage was filmed, the school was very empty. And you'll soon learn from me that I like to talk about food. So I thought it would be nice to show you some photos of the canteen in action. There is such a great range of food on offer by Kachina. There's a hot meal every day, and you can see there's a good balance of protein, carbs, with lots of vegetables and salads. There's food on the go, there's cold foods, and a range of baked goods as well. Also fruit pots, which I don't have on the slide, but so much variety. Please do take a look through page 17 because it will tell you some more details about what's on offer at breakfast, break time, and lunchtime. Feel free to pause the video now and press play when you're ready to continue. By the way, one of my personal favourites from the canteen are the cookies, and I'm certainly looking forward to those once it reopens. I want to share page 20 with you because I am so keen for everybody to get involved in our school community. And you will see on this page that there are 7 positions of responsibility available, 6 in each form, and the school council rep will represent the whole of year 7. There are other positions within the form which are on the page: form captain, charity reps, sport captain, and their deputies. I know that some of you have held positions of responsibility already at primary school, so this might be something you want to continue. Alternatively, if you haven't done something like this before, you might want to challenge yourself and put yourself forward for one of these roles. Again, feel free to pause the video here to have a little read through of what you could become involved in and press play when you're ready to continue. The library has to be one of my favourite spaces at Herts Essex. It has such a lovely atmosphere. It's always buzzing, it's so positive, and Miss Dash, our dedicated and enthusiastic librarian, works really hard to put on a variety of really cool events. So on the photo on the left, you can see the entrance for the Harry Potter book night, and you can see a photo of the library in action on the right. Other things to look forward to from Miss Dash are the weekly book club, Carnegie shadowing, and the student librarian scheme. We are coming to the end of our video, Year 6, and I want to bring your attention lastly to page 25, which features useful tips. Again, please press pause and consider the following. Which of these useful tips have you already been doing at primary school? Perhaps use one colour to shade those in. And secondly, which of the tips have you got left that would be really useful in helping you to transition up to secondary school? Press pause now, see how you get on, and for one final time, press play once you're ready to move on. This brings me to the end of our video, everybody. As I said earlier, there are lots of other pages in this student information book. Please do take a look at the book between now and September. You could go through it with one of your parents and carers, and hopefully it's going to give you all the information you need alongside everything else we prepared for you, so you feel excited and ready to start with us in September. I am really looking forward to finally being able to meet you then. Please stay safe. Stay positive, have a really lovely summer, and I will see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.